what's going on? I'm Patrick Jagir, the Cosmic Alchemist. Today I want to talk about a full moon in Taurus. So I'm making this video at about 7 p.m. on Thursday, December 12th, 2019. We had the full moon in the wee hours of the morning. It was actually at midnight. So, what was that? 19 hours ago. But I was busy yesterday at work, so I couldn't make a video in advance for this. But anyway, or I wasn't willing to make the time, I should say. I could have, but you know, you get busy and you need time to relax. So that full moon that was at midnight today. It was actually at 12:12 a.m. on December the 12th, and that's East Coast time of the United States. So kind of a magic number, you know, 12:12 at 12:12 is the full moon maximum. I actually stepped out of the house at midnight, and you know, the moon was big and bright, and it was at its apex. So it wasn't only, you know, full at that time, you know, at the time of the maximum, it was also at its apex. So that was pretty cool. It was you know, definitely a beauty. So just for a few minutes here, I just want to talk about this full moon and, you know, what it's about, and, you know, what it's communicating to us. This won't be my usual long-winded, you know, monthly video style. Keep it shorter. So, interesting full moon. I guess I'm interested in this stuff. I always say whatever I'm talking about is interesting. I think it's interesting. So that's why I say it. If you're sick of me saying that, I'm probably going to keep saying it because I just find it all interesting. So, you know, to me, this full moon, it's about, for one, it's about revaluing our values. So it's about revisiting what we hold valuable, what we think is valuable, you know, in our lives, and making a decision based on that. You know, and to me, we're definitely coming down to a crossroads, you know, as Americans, as, you know, just as humans in general. You know, we're ending long cycles. We've ended the age of Pisces, you know, and the age of Pisces was an age of hierarchy and kind of an age of, you know, oppression and even slavery for the vast majority of us, because only so many people fit up at the top of the pyramid, and the rest of us support them and work for them and do what we're told. And, you know, one of the ways of life during the age of Pisces is, if you can't be one of the people in charge, then ingratiate yourself to those people and get in their good books so that you can enjoy the perks, and that so that your friends and family can, you know, speak well of you and, you know, maybe brag about you and, you know, drop your name. So all that's coming to an end. You know, and the age of Pisces was definitely an age of haves and have-nots. So, you know, I'm not a socialist. I don't get into that whole thing. I definitely support capitalism. But at the same time, you know, what we have in the world right now really isn't even capitalism. It's cronyism. You know, it's the people, no matter what political party's in charge, the people who buy the politicians and fund their campaigns, you know, their friends, their cronies, really pull all the strings. So we're shifting away from that, and it's going to be more of an even playing field, but it's going to be a type of playing field that you have to make it happen in your life. You know, nobody's going to tell you what to do, and, you know, we're not going to live in we're not going towards a socialist utopia where people tell you exactly what to do from cradle to grave so that, you know, everybody can be perfectly equal, and, you know, you live in some engineered utopia. That's on its way out, because that's another form of hierarchy. That's another form of, you know, a pyramidal, hierarchical, do what you're told type of a structure. So that's on its way out, and we're going into a world where people are going to have, they're going to be on equal footing to be innovative and work hard and to make their own decisions. So I'm always telling people, you know, in the transformations that are coming to the world, when it's all said and done, nobody is going to say, I told you so. It doesn't matter what political affiliation you have, what religion you're part of, what race you are, what social advocacy groups you subscribe to. Nobody's going to say, I told you so. And none of those groups are going to own or dictate the future. Everybody's going to eat some humble pie, and everybody's going to have to work together. So, getting back to the, you know, my original point. So this full moon is all about, you know, what do you value and how are you going to move forward? What decisions are you going to make based on your values? So, and I say this because, you know, this full moon is happening in Taurus, and Taurus is all about quality. It's about sensuality. It's about having, you know, it's about nice things. It's about quality food. It's about art. It's about nice clothes, you know, on a very material level. And on a not so material level, it's about doing things the way you want to do them and being your own advocate and, you know, speaking up when you want things a certain way, when, you know, you can fairly have something a certain way and, you know, and not hurt other people and, you know, take something from other people. So, you know, Taurus is about being your own advocate and getting things the way you want them and not settling for less than, you know, what you believe you deserve. And so, you know, across from the full moon, you know, during a full moon, the sun is always in the opposite sign. So in the opposite sign, where the sun is, it's Scorpio. So Scorpio is all about, it's the unconscious mind, and it's, you know, it's deep, unpleasant emotions and thoughts, and, you know, it's all the, kind of all the shit we have to wade through in life, you know, and all the tough times we have to go through, and the ups and downs, and, you know, just, you know, the emotional and mental turmoil, and, you know, losses, sudden losses, and the transformations we go through. So to me, with this full moon in Taurus, it's looking back at Scorpio, and it's seeing through all these centuries, you know, the cycles we've gone through, and it's saying, okay, I can see where we've come from. I can see, you know, all the shitty times we've been through, and, you know, the wounds that we sustained, and the wounds we had to heal. And I'm looking back at that, and it's like, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to keep reliving that. So that's the best of it. You know, that's the highest potential that this full moon is giving us, where we can look back at where we've been and decide to stop going around and around the wheel and living in the same cycles. So it's a great and beautiful thing. You know, it's great potential that we have. Not everyone, you know, when we have these, you know, whether it's a full moon or an eclipse or some sort of a conjunction, there's potential to do great things with that energy that, you know, the universe is broadcasting and pumping out. And there's potential to not seize that good energy and that great opportunity, and to just keep doing more of the same, and to, you know, live from fear. So some people are going to do that too, and, you know, we're all on different paths here in life, and, you know, we all do what we feel is best. So, you know, for some people, that full moon in Taurus is, if it's from a place of fear, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna see all the things that it wants in life. It's gonna see the way that it wants life to be, and it's gonna act out of fear. It's gonna look back at that Scorpio, all those tough times we've been through, and it's basically gonna start trying to basically boss other people around, and, you know, make sure, you know, other people do what, you know, we want to do if we're living from that place of fear. You know, being violent, being manipulative, being bossy, all those behaviors come from fear. When you don't believe that you're going to have your needs met, you don't believe that things are going to go well for you. You know, when we live from fear, we feel like we have to exploit and boss around, and, you know, it's a strong word, but kind of oppress other people, and and manipulate other people to kind of be puppets within our agendas. So we're seeing in the world right now, and two-party politics is a total creature of fear, and really, religions can really be too. Religions can be very beautiful, but they can also be very fear-based, especially when they're fundamentalist. So, and there's plenty of fundamentalism, and it's not just traditional religions, but science, academia, social justice, those can be religions too. Money. So pretty interesting. Another thing too, in that opposite sign from the full moon, not only is the sun there, but Mercury's there too. Mercury is the intellect. So definitely on our kind of our waking, conscious minds, we're definitely rolling over, all of these things we've had to go through within our lives, and collectively that we've gone through for many years and many generations. So like I said, we need to decide what it is that's valuable to us in life and what we want in life, and apply ourselves to that. And this is really, in my opinion, it's another call for self-improvement. And I always tell people, the world is going to be changed for the better and transformed, and the world is going to be saved through self-improvement. It's not going to be saved through electing the right president, because that would have saved the world already. Because for the last, here in the United States, for the last 200 and almost 50 years, we've been arguing about who's going to be president every 4 years, and it hasn't delivered us to paradise, and it's not going to. Self-improvement will. If you can determine what it is that you have power over and what it is that you have responsibility over. So basically, figure out what's your business and what is other people's business, and stick to your business. If you can stick to your business and change things in your life that you rightfully have power over, then it's contagious. People in your life, people around you, see you do it, and they start doing it. And that's how the world will be transformed. It's not going to be through politics. It's not going to be getting bossed around by, one political party or another, or the military, or a religion, or social justice warriors, or, whoever. All those people are acting through fear. They want to get into other people's business and make other people do the things that they know are best for them. So, with this full moon, find out what it is you love and apply yourself to making that happen. Who you love, what you love, and decide what it is that you value, and just go for it. And don't be afraid. And who gives a shit what other people think? Just do it. So, another interesting thing here too that I want to talk about with this full moon, and really my last major point, thank God, is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, at the height of the full moon, at the maximum, it's in the 4th house. So the 4th house is that diamond just off center on the left side of the chart, and kind of in the middle, height-wise, the one with all the planets in it, in the little number 9. So the 9 stands for Sagittarius, by the way. In an astrology chart, the signs are abbreviated by numbers 1 through 12. So 9 is Sagittarius. So we've got a little party going on in Sagittarius here, and the party's really gonna be bumping by Boxing Day, by December the 26th. So in Sagittarius here, we've got Pluto, Saturn and Venus, and K2, and then Jupiter. So, the thing I've mentioned here is that, Pluto is at 27 degrees, is that galactic center point. So Pluto, the god of the underworld, the god who makes you deal with, your personal unconscious mind and the collective unconscious, which is full of craziness and chaos, and all the behaviors and feelings and thoughts that we don't want to show to the rest of the world. So, and and the things that we procrastinate, the things that we put off and procrastinate with, with dealing with, things that we don't want to deal with, and we just keep putting on the back burner. And, things that are too unpleasant to think about. So Pluto makes us deal with those things, and Pluto brings those to the surface and says, hey, wait a minute, you need to deal with, you need to do some business here and do some work and, deal with these thoughts and these emotions that are under the rug here before you can, move on and, have the happy life that you've been searching for. So, galactic center point, 27 degrees of Sagittarius, that's where the energy, the radiation from the center of the galaxy comes through and, raises our awareness and raises our consciousness. So right now, the god of the underworld is relaying this message from galactic center. You have a bunch of skeletons you've stuffed in the closet, and you need to deal with them. And they're not anyone else's fault, and they're not anyone else's responsibility to deal with. They're yours to deal with. And Saturn's 2 degrees away. And Saturn is the judge, the enforcer. So Saturn and Pluto together are going to make you deal with your own, especially in Sagittarius, they're going to make you deal with your own self-righteousness, your own sense of high and mightiness, and your belief, your false belief that it's better for other people, and what other people should be doing. It's narcissism. And, all human beings have some kind of narcissism, and they have some sort of narcissistic behavior, no matter how slight or, how egregious. So Saturn and Pluto are just making us deal with, our dark side and, the uglier sides of our nature before we can go on and, live the happy lives that, that we're striving towards. So another cool thing too is you have Saturn and Venus at the same degree. They're 25 degrees. So, mythologically, Venus is the daughter of Saturn. So, and Venus, in my opinion, is bringing some creativity to this whole situation. So, Venus is lending her creativity to the universe to create situations that show us our own hypocrisy individually and collectively, whatever groups you belong to collectively. And so our individual and collective hypocrisy and self-righteousness. So a lot of situations are coming up here. So many in the world right now. Don't really want to go into them, but I will say that a lot of people, really everyone who thinks they're right now and they're going to get their revenge and they're going to say to everyone, I told you so, those other people were wrong and I was right the whole time. Things are going to blow up in their faces and they're going to be exposed for being the hypocrites that they are. Those people know who they are, and if they don't know who they are, they're gonna know soon. And I'm always examining my own life to see where I'm doing this. So, I'm not saying I'm right about anything by any stretch. I make mistakes all day long. So, interesting full moon. So, that's about it. That's about all I've got for you. Actually, one last thing. I'm looking at the chart here. So Mars has its 8th aspect on the moon here. So Mars is 8 houses away. So, and it's Mars in Libra. So Mars is all about, well, not all about, but Mars, some of the things Mars symbolizes are, aggression, violence, action, initiative, leadership, and so, volatility. So Mars in Libra, Mars is in Venus' sign. And, you have, Libra is not only Venus' sign, but it's also about relationships. It's about all the other people in the world, all the different types of relationships you have. So, Mars in Libra, it speaks to, anger within relationships, the two people involved in whatever type of relationship having some sort of, anger between them and having to sort that out. So that Mars is looking directly at the full moon, and and the moon represents the mind. So we're definitely, one of the things that's driving our sense of value right now, and in our process of deciding what it is that we value in our lives, is this anger that we have between us and between other people. So that's definitely, and that feeds into the whole fear factor when that exists, when people are living from fear. People run into other people who have a different view of things, and they don't want to do things the way that they want to have things done. So they feel fearful because people aren't playing to the tune of their agenda. So again, we really want to find out what it is you love and who you love, and decide what it is you love in life, and what you want in your life, and go for that, and live from that place of love. Because when you do that, you see opportunities around you that you didn't see before, and then you can just let other people live and just do what they want to do, and everything doesn't have to be an us versus them argument, and contest all the time. So another thing, one last thing I want to say too is, this is really about transformation, this full moon, because like I said, that full moon in Taurus is looking at the opposite sign, Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about transformation, and it's about, transformations are not pleasant. Like, you don't go through transformations by smoking a ton of weed, doing ayahuasca, LSD. That doesn't transform you. It's entertainment, and it's self-medication. It allows you to, get all this energy up in your head, and you temporarily feel enlightened, and you hallucinate, and you see all these different things, and you think you understand the whole universe and the cosmos. But it's self-medication, and it's just a temporary rush of all the energy in your aura up to your head, and then it leaks out, and an energy leaks out of your aura, and you were worse than you started. So the whole point is that transformation is not fun. You have to go through unpleasant experiences, and that's how you become wise. That's how you gain wisdom. So as this full moon in Taurus looks back at Scorpio, it's all about embracing and understanding the transformations we've gone through. And really, these three planets in Sagittarius is Pluto, Saturn, and Venus. They're all in the nakshatra, the mini constellation that's part of Sagittarius, which is called Purvashada, and they're in the fourth quarter of Purvashada. So, interesting thing here is, Purvashada is, traditionally they refer to it as the most pleasant nakshatra, the most pleasant mini constellation, and it's all about, finding and spreading love and beauty in your life and in the world, and especially through philosophy and spirituality and religion, things like that. And it's about being victorious by spreading love. But what this also brings is and this is a Venus ruled nakshatra, by the way. Since Venus is there, it's going to amplify it. So it brings this victory through love and beauty by taking a person, or taking all of us, through major transformation, through major ups and downs and turmoils and heartbreaks, through getting your emotions and your ego smashed apart, really. And that's the thing about spirituality. I always say to people, spirituality will definitely destroy you. And what I mean by that is it's going to ruin the machinations and the creations of your ego. It's going to destroy the life that your ego created, thinking that, it was doing the greatest thing ever, and you were going to be on top of the world. What the ego wants and what you genuinely want are two very different things. So spirituality destroys all the things in your life, all the, the sandcastles in your life that your ego created. And it whittles you down to your truer self and ultimately to your truest self. So this placement of Pluto, Saturn, and Venus in Sagittarius, it's all about that. It's about spreading love and beauty, through philosophy and through spirituality. But you can't do that till you've gone through your transformation, till you've had your ego basically put in check, till you've had your ego aligned with the real you, with your soul, with your heart. So, this conjunction opens a window for beauty, for beautiful things to come into the world, for a beautiful future to come in. But we're gonna have to go through transformation to get there. It's like I said, transformation is just not as simple as just, doing drugs and going to yoga and, joining some social justice groups on Facebook. It's about dealing with the shit in your life that you don't want to think about and you don't want to feel, and all the feelings you don't want to feel. And it's about dealing with accepting things in the world that you don't want to think about and that you don't want to deal with because they're frightening. So that's the opportunity and the challenge. So, this full moon opens the window to some great beauty and to, a beautiful future, a loving future, but it reminds us you're gonna have to go through transformation to get there. So that's enough out of me. I went longer than I planned, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. So thanks for tuning in. My site is thecosmicalchemist.com. Definitely book an astrology reading with me. Those readings are, they're worth their weight in gold. They give you a roadmap, really, through your life. And they help you to figure out what your hidden talents are, your hidden gifts. What are your natural strengths? What are your natural weaknesses? How do you capitalize on those natural strengths and gifts? And, what should you put your energy towards? I also do rune readings, which are they're mind maps, they're snapshots in the moment of, what's going on in your mind and in your emotions, and, where are the strengths and, where are the blockages that are preventing you from living the life that you want. And I've got some videos for sale, for download, some Qigong videos. So Qigong is a really cool mind-body practice that just helps you to align your ego again with your true self, with your soul, with your heart. So have a good one, and Merry Christmas if you don't hear from me before that, and Happy New Year, and talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in.